Do you dream of exploring Nigeria's rich tourism destinations through air, rail, road, and maritime routes? Then hop aboard Transport and Tourism Express with your captain, Victor Oyejide, a seasoned travel consultant and transport geographer, every Monday from 2 to 3 p.m. as it takes you on an exciting journey across landscapes, cultures, and the heartbeat of Nigeria's transport systems. Only on Honor 103.5 FM, Ibadan. Transport and Tourism Express. Your next journey starts on air.
Very beautiful afternoon to you in the city of Ibadan. I hope you are having an eventful day wherever you're listening to this great radio dial in the city of Ibadan. This is Honor 103.5 FM. My name is Victor Oyejide, and the program coming to your radio waves, coming to your airwaves now, is Transport and Tourism Express on Honor 103.5 FM. We're broadcasting live from Kongi, Bodija, Ibadan. And I hope you're having an eventful day wherever you're listening to this great radio dial. A great one indeed. And on this program, we get to look at issues of public importance in the transport and tourism sector. Looking at real life issues that affect real people like you and I on the street. Again, I say welcome to the program, and as we do it every week, we get to look at some of the major trending news, trending activities within this sector, just within the short period of time before we really get into the topic for today, really get into the discussion for today. And like I do it every week, I have my discussants talking about Rufus or Sanmi also on the program today, and we'll be doing justice to our discussion for today. Again, I welcome you on board Honor 103.5 FM. The program again is Transport and Tourism Express. So quickly, I'll take you through some of the major trending news in this sector within the last 1 week, talking about the transport and tourism sector. And you know, when we say transport, we get to talk about land transportation, looking at road and rail sector, also talking water transport, inbound and outbound tourism, water transportation, inland waterways, and the maritime sector, and also not forgetting the air transport. Within the tourism sector, we look at the inbound and outbound tourism, like I mentioned earlier also. But quickly, within the short period of time, we get to look at some of these major news in the sector while listening to contributions also from my colleague talking about Rufus or Sanmi. It's good to have you on the program today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here.
Welcome. So, looking through some of the major news we have in the sector within the transport and tourism sector, we have information that the Lagos State government, as of last week, has unveiled diversion plan ahead of 110 days emergency repair on the Oyejide third mainland bridge axis, and this is a major plan to commence from tomorrow, which is Tuesday, to September 23rd, 2025. A 110 days phased operation expected to significantly affect commuter flow across the metropolis. So now you understand that around the Oyejide third axis bridge, operation and emergency repair is expected to commence there from tomorrow. And according to information, phase 1 to phase 4 will affect inbound traffic towards the third mainland bridge from May 6th tomorrow to July 14th, while phase 5 to 8 will affect the outbound corridor from July 15th to 23rd. So this is information for those that those who intend to go into Lagos, especially from Ibadan, to be able to plan accordingly.
Yeah, but one thing must be looked into. I think I was reading comment online about how that Lagos State government frequently now has been repairing some bridges, and remember the Independent Bridge the other day
that caused a lot of traffic.
I think the government should be proactive in doing some of these things so that it will not affect the economy, the business of the people, and of course the economy of the states.
110 days, people bearing burdens for that long period of time.
That's a lot of time.
All right, we hope things will get faster and that they would not spend that long duration of time as much. But again, we need these infrastructures in place. Moving on quickly to another news coming to tourism in Oyo State, where the state governor on his media page has indicated that some days ago they went inspecting projects in Oyo State, talking about the Omololu Olunloyo Park, located at the beginning of the 3.2-kilometer Omololu Olunloyo Airport Road, which they dualize. Are also expected the Circular Road project, which is also going on according to plan. But again, looking through the images of that visit of that location, very beautiful site to build, though named after the late former governor of Oyo State, Omololu Olunloyo, who recently passed. I would have wished that he was alive to witness the cutting of the ribbon and opening of that place. But I think you must have also seen pictures around it.
Yeah, we must commend the effort of the government. I think what the government is trying to do is to put infrastructures in place around axis of the airport upgrade, so that we can have infrastructures that can attract tourists that are coming in, and that is of course commendable.
Very commendable. He mentioned I want to turn it to an Erythropolis, which makes beautiful sense. Let me take this from the immigration sector, which will cap it up with this. Six British media crew repatriated from Nigeria over visa irregularities. Epis faces penalty. In a dramatic turn of events at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on the 3rd of May 2025, 6 British nationals who were part of an 8-member documentary film crew traveling across Africa were denied entry into Nigeria and were subsequently repatriated to the United Kingdom 2 nights ago. So this group, which arrived from Sierra Leone abroad, Epis, at approximately around 7:16 a.m., was turned back due to what the Nigerian Immigration Service described as improper, irregular, and unexplainable documentation issues. So according to the NIS, talking about the Nigerian Immigration Service at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, the affected individuals do not possess the necessary documentation required to procure visas on arrival, and the process, which is a process recently tightened under Nigeria's revised immigration protocols. So this entire crew included 6 Briton, 1 Sierra Leone, and 1 Nigerian. Only the Sierra Leone and the Nigerian members were permitted entry, while the British nationals were held at the airport for nearly 15 hours before being flown back to the United Kingdom. Beautiful, beautiful, though funny, but again, it's funny to see scenarios like this happening. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, like you said, it's a funny news, and the fact that people are calling for having more news like this, come to limelight, because of course it happens sometimes, but it doesn't make it to the main news, because people don't see it as a big deal, like turning those kind of people back because of papers. But it should make the news. We should also put some standard in place and not just allow every dictum and Harry
come into the country. Well, the truth is, this is not the first time Nigeria will be deporting or repatriating foreigners, and I think even as of today we've been able to repatriated about 95 foreigners from Ibadan, Cameroon citizens, and quite a number of them like that. Well, time is really not on our side again, and we might not be able to speak much, but one thing again from the Railway Corporation is the fact that the Warri Itakpe train service has resumed operation as at the 30th of April, but now it will be operating 6 days weekly from May 1st, operating 6 days and 1 day left out for maintenance. I think the Thursday is left out for maintenance on the Warri Itakpe train service. For a while, the Nigeria Railway Corporation suspended its operation on that route due to issues happening on that route, but now it's back, but with 1 day off due to maintenance of the coaches on that rail corridor. With this, we draw curtain on our trending news within the transport and tourism sector. Until next week, when we come your way again, I hope you keep it logged down to Ono 103.5 FM. But I don't want you to go yet, because I have my guest in the studio who is going to be speaking to us on our focus for today, largely within water tourism, and I want you to keep it logged down. Just immediately after the short musical break, I'll be back to speak with our guest in the studio today.
This is Transport and Tourism Express with your captain, Victor Oyejide, only on Honor 103.5 FM, Ibadan.
Welcoming you back to Honor 103.5 FM. And today on the program, again, like I rightly mentioned, we'll be looking at something very important, and that is around the water sector. When I mean water sector, around water, one thing I want us to know is the fact that Nigeria has a diverse range of water bodies and coastal areas, which really offer potential for water transportation and tourism. And when we say water transportation, we get to look at for water transportation for movement of people and goods, talking about shipment, talking about container, talking about humans moving from one location to the other within states and also in our various seaports within Nigeria or even outside Nigeria. Talking about, if we talk about some of our seaports, we have about 5 or 6 major seaports. Talking about the ones in Lagos, the Tinkan Island, the Apapa Port, the One Port, the Calabar Port, the Warri, the Delta States, the one in Warri, the Port Harcourt. It's also, those are ports we have in Nigeria where we engage in water transportation, movement of goods, and we also move people locally within our various states. But for all your states, it's a different ballgame. But today on the program, again, our focus is really not on transportation, but on tourism. And, in tourism, where we have water bodies like beaches, we have rivers, we have lakes, which offer potential for water tourism. However, as a country, we have not really fully capitalized on the resources for tourism development. Today on the program, I have a very distinguished gentleman who is a prince also, talking about a man of the moment, a man of the people, Dr. Sanmi Bamidele. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for inviting me once again.
Yes.
Thank you all our listeners over there. Thank you.
This is not the first time you come in on the program, but again, it's good to see how far and how well you've been doing. Maybe you tell us, give us a brief how far in terms of acceptance. This is something that in Oyo State we are in interland, so we don't really have water surrounding us compared to Lagos and other places. And I've seen you jokingly say, ẹlẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ ti wà òkè àṣejù ní Lẹ́kì ẹlẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ ti wà òkè. How has been the level of acceptance of water tourism in Oyo State?
Yeah, thank you once again. I want to really appreciate you. And our listeners out there, I want to thank you again and congratulate every one of us that we are all trying to change the narratives of what they know about Ibadan and Oyo State.
Okay.
Ibadan is known to be a city with a brown roof, but we are trying to change the narratives now. It's no longer a city with a brown
with
roof
just the
only.
brown roof.
We now have something similar to Lekki in the city of Ibadan.
Something similar to Lekki.
So Ashejuni Lekki, like I said, okay.
Beautiful, amazing.
The acceptability has been very, 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 very encouraging. People coming there within and outside the country. In fact, they are changing their impression about Ibadan, and people keep coming to come and see. It's just like something that happened in the Bible. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Now they now see that Ibadan is not, in fact, is a city to behold now. People keep coming to see what is happening live in Ibadan.
The attention is gradually coming back. Yes. I see a lot of beautiful things on social media, people posting, talking about their experience on the waterways there, especially people that come from outside Oyo State. And they wonder how one is be able to pull up this, especially in a place that it's not so known for water bodies. If you tell someone that there's a boat cruise, a boat operation somewhere in this Ibadan, they will doubt it until they get to see it for themselves. What has been the experience of people? What has been the feedback of people when they come visiting?
Well, each person coming to that place, the question they keep asking is, what led you into this? Where did you get this inspiration from? But I do tell them, what is the essence of our education?
If we don't use it
properly, one, what is the essence of our traveling? I think traveling is part of education. So if you travel far and wide within and outside the country, and you see things that are happening there without you coming back home to come and do something similar to it, doesn't make one really a good traveler. Let me just put it that way. So
you see things from outside the country, you bring them to implement.
Let me just a simple example. And I keep saying it and telling everybody the difference between River Thames in UK and Eleyele River is the fact that they have developed structures around Thames River, which we don't have in Eleyele. But the same thing we are doing there is what they are equally doing. But they have London Bridge, they have London High, they do boat cruises, they have developed buildings all around. So it's just the same about the level of development is what differs.
You know, when you mention River Thames, reminds me of London Eye.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people coming down to this location just because the river is there. You see sports tourism on water. You see so many activities happening around, giving people that experience floating on water and trying different things. Fun seekers, tourists, travelers coming to experience and have a feel of this particular location. But again, I must commend you for the good work so far, and I think those were part of the reasons why you earned that award from the Oyo State government, talking about the Oyo State award for people, individual who has contributed service to youth development above 50 years. Congratulations,
Thank you so
Prince
much.
Dr. Sanmi Bamidele.
Thank you so
I
much.
think you made a declaration for people that day.
You see, I keep telling people the taste of the pudding is in the eating. What is the essence of you having something in your custody without even giving it out to some people, just to have a feel?
An experience.
An experience. A lot of people that have been coming to our facility over there, it's either their first time of experiencing something of such. In fact, I keep wondering, because they'll be telling me, this is going to be their first time of having this kind of experience. So when we were being given the award, because this is not going to be the first one.
No, okay.
Last year
from the state government.
Yeah, this is going to be the second. We had there's one they gave us last year.
Okay.
The Emerging Tourist Center. Then this year
Wow.
also, based on our
This is
impact
from that was first one was from the Ministry of Tourism.
of tourism, but this one is from the Ministry of Youth.
Youth and Sports.
Youth and Sport, because
Okay.
they look at the impact of our facility on youth.
On the youth.
So
and
I
youth
have to now look
development.
at it that all the awardees that were there together, well, I don't know, but I want to know certain percentage of them might not have had experience of what boat cruising is all about. And I have to just make it known at the instance of the Honorable Commissioner that the whole of them, at a time convenient for Honorable Commissioner, they can come for a boat ride on our bills, just to let them have experience, and at the same time complement the effort of Honorable Commissioner. She's doing wonderfully well.
Amazing.
She's doing wonderfully well. So we need to just encourage her more.
Great. And I think this is still extended to us also in the studio here today.
Come what may, this will not be my first time of coming here, and I do say not even only to those in the studio, even your listener, if you have people that are listening to you live on this program, we can equally extend such to them. At least the more
Okay,
the
so
merrier.
maybe we'll get to receive one or two phone calls that get to come in, and perhaps they might have something to say. I'm the lucky beneficiary. So you mentioned something which is quite important to me. You said a lot of people who have had this probably be the first time they're experiencing this, and when it comes to passenger experience, tourist experience, how do you ensure safety, comfort, and efficiency on the boat, just to see that fun seekers, tourists, holiday makers can have and can explore a unique and enjoyable experience?
This same question somebody asked me before coming to this place.
Okay,
From one,
so it's important.
Yeah, they're from one corporate organization, and I made them realize one thing. If you have a bathtub in your house, if you don't put up a safety measure in it, you can get drawn inside your own bathtub.
Very
how
true.
much more a business venture? No matter how big, no matter how mighty, no matter how influential you are, no matter how rich you are, there are certain levels where you can get to in our facilities, and we tell you, Mr. Man, please, with every sense of humility, you can't cross it, because once you discover that the necessary safety apparel you're supposed to put on, you're not putting it on, won't allow you into it. Despite the fact that you are coming to spend your money, we are not all about money, but the safety of life is equally very, very important to us. So you have to put on your life jacket if you want to go on a boat cruise. Then there's a demarcation to a certain level where you can get to, no matter who you are. We can't compromise that standard and that level.
So there's
of
a
safety.
standard operating procedure.
We have that SOP that we that is guiding us as far as our operations is concerned. Because there are some people that will just come, they want to explore. Human being, they want to explore.
Some want to
Not
play with the water.
They just do it maybe out of ignorance or out of nobody can stop me. Out of, is it not my money I want to spend?
Yes.
You want to spend your money, but your life is equally very important to us. So we do tell them, no, you can't do this. And if anybody is proving to be, is it not my money? We are so sorry. You can just keep that money to yourself and allow us to do what we need to do. We do manage them and just let them know, all what you are doing is just because of you. Your life is so important to us, and we don't want anything to happen to you.
So I want to also ask, are there particular times that the boat doesn't move? Or the speed boats, maybe the different, maybe you want to mention the different kinds of boats we have on that on the waterways. Are there specific times they do not operate or they do not move? Because why I asked is because we are now in the raining season, when rain is coming and the volume of water in these water bodies are definitely going to get more and more.
It's a very good question. One thing is this: we have quite a number of boats. We have the kayak, in which you can use your pedal to just paddle it.
Okay.
Then we have pedal boats. The pedal boat is something that two can do. You just do it as if you're riding a bicycle.
Okay.
Then we have the speedboat. All these boats I'm mentioning to you, they are very, very stable. That is one. Two,
They have a good balance on water.
very good balance on water. Then two, the water we have at Elele is, we've been underutilizing that dam for so long a time. I could remember it has been there since 1964, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think I see people get to cross from one end to another, maybe on a canoe and all of that. Is it transport or?
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
In our home case, all we are doing purely is tourism. On the other side, we have people living at the other side of that Elele.
Okay.
And which, if they want to come to Elele from, say, Akpete, Lakuta, axis like that, it's going to cost them a fortune. And the stress
move from
involved
one point
to
to
move
the
from
other.
that end to Awoton to Akpete, Jokodo before coming to Elele.
Elele.
So they find it easier and shorter just crossing using that water way. But the only thing we do
Commercially, that's
commercially.
transport.
So we have some people that are doing that one. But what we do hammer to them, to those that are doing that, please don't compromise
On
safety.
safety.
Please don't compromise
You know,
safety.
that brings me to the point where I remember what Lagos State government is doing with a lag ferry, where they get to see they are utilizing more like a tripod approach to transportation, to tourism and entertainment, to really maximize the benefit of their waterways. And I think this is another approach that Oyo State can probably bring into it, seeing it beyond tourism, but bringing tourism, bringing transport, bringing entertainment into it. You know, quite a number of festivals that happens in Lagos on this water. If we have Oyo Ferry now, I don't know, maybe it's something you are also considering to go into. What do you want to say to that?
Let me just we are just starting to start. Let me just put it that way.
In Oyo State or you?
In Oyo State.
Okay.
Well, let me say our own organization.
How long have you been existing now?
We are just barely a year.
Barely a year.
Yeah, barely a year. We
doing-
were commissioned February 22nd last year.
Wow.
So it's just some few months into the second year. But where we are going to, we are just about some few percentage into to the starting point. But what you just mentioned, there will come a time that we are going to have so many activities along that just to project the state and the tourism potentials in the state to the global world. So when we have activities like that, a lot of people from within and outside the country, they will come and see what we have. Because if you don't blow our trumpet, nobody is ready to blow it.
Definitely.
What we have, just like I said, what people are paying fortune for when they travel abroad is not even as much as that by virtue of my own experience. But we go anywhere, you see what they have in there, you just look at it. But it's because a lot has been put into it. They've been there for so long a time, and they keep improving on a daily basis. Just like when we started, it was so rough, but now gradually
pieces by pieces,
it's becoming better and better and better every day.
So great. Amazing stuff, amazing information that you've just provided here, because it's quite important for us and for users tourism lovers, holiday makers, people around that want to really move from one point to the other, exploring for tourism purpose, to really enjoy and know that there is something in Ibadan that have the potential to give them the feel of just moving on water, floating on water, and really getting to explore. I spoke about rain, which is very important. You had mentioned that periods like this, rain, definitely rain is falling.
The only simple thing we do as far as rain is concerned is that when we discover that is raining, we stop all our activities.
Okay.
Prevention to me is cheaper than cure, not even better than cure. Prevention is cheaper than cure. We rather don't even cruise when it's raining. It doesn't even make any sense.
Because the wave tides.
The waves, the wind, everything. It's better we just stop. It's not the money we are going to make while it's raining. It's not going to turn us to a billionaire. So why can't we just try and stop our action for the safety of our people and even for our own peace of mind, and just allow rain to do. Rain is not going to rain 24 hours.
Yes,
for the period of
definitely.
time, we can just stop activities, stop all actions, and when the rain stops, we can then commence our own activities. And we are so fortunate in the sense that the dam has a very big outlet. It has 3 rivers that link up together to form that dam.
Okay.
But the rate of flow is not as, the torrent is not all that high when it's raining. The volume will just increase.
A bit.
It
the
just
volume
increase.
of water.
It's not running. It's not a running.
Okay.
So
it's not as if it will be
it will
sinusoidal.
yeah. It's the volume will just increase, and it will be pouring out at the outlet
end.
at the other end. And when the rain stops, the thing will keep producing. So why do we now need to stress ourselves cruising while it's raining? It doesn't make any economic sense to us. So we don't even bother doing that.
All right, I've been speaking to Dr. Sanmi Bamidele, who is a CEO of one of the major water tourism platform in Oyo State, Royal Boat Entertainment, and he's doing great in Ibadan with some of the very things they are doing and they put in place. But again, when we come to talk about safety, very recently we have information in the public space that the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy has commenced the distribution of 2025 safety, has commenced the distribution of 42,000 life jackets to 12 states across the country to enhance safe water transportation. And yes, tourism also included, because this is a tripod. So this was an information that was stated during the distribution. This distribution commenced at the Safety and Sensitization and Enlightenment Campaign in Mina. That was Tuesday last week. So, and according to the information we had on the news, this is to promote the use of life jackets, reduce loss of lives and properties on inland waterways across the country. This is also part of our inland waterways. And I don't know to what extent has the government's involvement been with you as a private investor in this space. The government has stated here that they are giving life jackets. This is at the federal government level, stating that they are giving it out to 12 states across the country. Let's look it down to your states. To what extent has the impact of government been for you?
The 12 states, I don't know the number. I don't know the states they mentioned, but I want to believe they don't rank. I'm assuming, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm assuming they don't rank Oyo State as part of the state with water and landways, because they don't see us using it or utilizing what we have then. But now, with our activities now, we have something we can show, we have something we can display, which I think it is something the government can leverage on to assess whatever federal government is even sharing to any state with water and landways. We are equally qualified for it in all ramification, because there's nothing there. In fact, as far as Southwest is concerned, apart from Lagos State, Oyo State is the only state that is optimally utilizing the water and landways they have.
When you say optimally, this you said you just started within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And optimally, it's still a growing.
Okay, well, don't let me use the word. Maybe optimally we make it sound 100%, but to a certain level, we have something we can show to the world or even to the federal government that, okay, this is what we are doing, and we can still do much more if we have the support. from the federal government.
You know, I've looked at your social media page at different times, and I think more still really needs to be done for promotion. Not so many people, not just on your social media page, not so many people know about this, or perhaps even at the national level. Maybe I'm not sure the governor himself has been there. I'm not sure we've had national delegates from the Nigerian Inland Waterways or from the Ministry of Transport themselves coming to give attention to that place, placing it on the map, because these are part of what will give more visibility and giving you more attention to get more government support.
Well, let me just try and be, as far as government is concerned, they are trying their best. I do say something. There's a lot of activities and a lot of commitment on the part of government, but we can't leave all responsibility in the shoulder of government. So we are trying to play our own role to complement their effort. Well, I think what we just need is just the consent or support of government to approach places like Niwa and those that are in charge of water and land,
Ministry of Water
at the federal level, just to let them know that, okay, we have something like this in our own state. What do we stand to gain or benefit, or what support can you give us? And you see, it's going to be much more better if it's coming from at the state level,
yes,
rather than coming from an individual.
That's why I said we've not really utilized these optimally. And
so we've given is just like the prerequisite needed to assess whatever we need to assess at the federal. I think the state we have it already, because they want to show, okay, you said there's what can you show for it. They can, in fact, they can bring them to our facilities to see. Let me just say this: Ekiti State government, they came to our, don't let me say Ekiti, well, any official representative of Ekiti State, they were there. They look at what we are doing. We have a discussion with them, because they see that what we are doing is very, very meaningful, and they want
profitable.
Profitable, and they want to copy a leaf from it. So at the federal level, it's something they can equally encourage if we find a means of approaching them as well.
Very important. It's something people can copy. We as a state, a pace setter state, we can set the pace for all those states out, except from Lagos, to follow, especially those in the southwest. There's something I want to also talk about now, which is around experience, tourist experience for fun seekers, holiday makers in those places. You see a lot that Lagos get to do. You know, keep mentioning Lagos because, yes, surrounded by water bodies, the beaches, the lounge, they are doing quite a lot. Lagos organize carnivals. Lagos organize festivals on water, giving beyond just the feel of floating on water and moving around from one point to another, coming for experience. What other Jara services do people get to benefit beyond just coming and making use of your facility? I want you to answer that question after this short commercial break. This is still on 103.5 FM. I want you to keep it locked down. I'll be back shortly.
This is Transport and Tourism Express with your captain, Victor Oyejide. Only on Honor 103.5 FM, Ibadan.
Welcoming you back to Honor 103.5 FM on the program Transport and Tourism Express. And if you're just joining us, I've been speaking with Dr. Sanmi Bamidele, who operates a major water transportation sector business in Oyo State. We've spoken about the fact that Nigeria has a diverse range of water bodies and coastal areas that offer potentials for water tourism in Nigeria and in Oyo State. And our country as a nation has not fully capitalized on these resources for water tourism or for tourism development. And I remember we also get to talk about how we can utilize more like a tripod approach on this water, talking about touching on transportation, touching on tourism, touching on entertainment, to really maximize the benefits of our waterways. And before we went on that short commercial break, I was asking him a major question, which is something I really want you to speak to as of now.
Please, I will want you to recap it much more better.
Okay, so when we went on short commercial break, we were speaking about how some of those states have potentials. Looking at Lagos, talking about the festivals they organize, talking about carnivals, talking about the experience for water lovers, holiday seekers that make use of water. Now, when we were also on the short commercial break, we also spoke about Ekiti State. Speaking about, there's also the Araromi Beach in Ondo State, and now some of these things are not just about getting on water, using the boat or exploring the beach, but having an experience. How much of this has this ever happened? What other Jara services do we have in Oyo State for diesel operation?
Okay, let me start from the issue of carnival. It's not something. If you want to do anything water carnival, we have to plan it very big.
Yes,
we are not competing. We are just letting the whole world know that Ibadan or Oyo State, we have a lot of potentials in all aspects of tourism. So it's something that we are working on, and when the time comes, as far as carnival is concerned, we are going to let out the cat out of the bag. But coming to our own facilities,
but people come around for Valentine's ceremony, the event, come for.
Yeah, when they are there, they have access to our paintball facilities. We have all forms of games. We have table tennis. We have snookers.
Floating on water.
It's not just
floating.
No. We have VR games and stuffs like that. We have trampoline for kids, which can keep them busy when the adults are having their own fun.
So is there an age limit for people that can get on the water on the boat?
Everybody. No, there's no age. Okay. In fact, we have some grannies. They're beautiful grannies. I think that was the name. They were there. They are over 70, going to 80. They all cruise on the water.
Wow.
It was so fun. In fact, so lovely.
Even children 1 year,
1 year, because we have facilities for every one of them. Nothing stopped them from having a ride. And you see one thing, even schools.
And you have a guide that joins them?
Definitely. Okay. Even some schools, they do come for excursion. I do tell people, there are some things that when we were growing up, they will ask us some questions. How did you spend your holiday? We now begin to all forms of lies here and there. We begin to but because we never experienced anything. But now there is no way any people will come to have a ride that will now ask him, how did you spend your holiday? That will not even unique experience. It will give you a lot of stories, beautiful stories. But so I think a lot of them are getting to know about this. We have several schools that they've been coming for excursion from schools.
And they have been not just the ride, of having other experiences.
They do the cruise, they do paintball, they do trampoline, they do table tennis. In fact, they even organize a small table tennis competition within themselves.
Do people come for birthdays and all there?
We are having one tomorrow. We had that one on Saturday, Sunday. A lot of people, they couldn't come there. The team bonding from corporate organizations and all of them like that.
Makes beautiful sense. Time is really not on our side again, and gradually I want to bring this program to a close. But before we come, finally, we'll call it we draw curtains on the program. I would just really want to ask, maybe, what are your next agenda? What are your plans? What are you planning to expand? What are you planning to do next? Are you planning to increase I don't know the number of boats, the number of speedboats. How many? What's the plan?
We keep working on our facilities because it's not even enough to meet up the demand. So on a daily basis, we are working on need to make it bigger, better, and brighter for people coming, so that they can enjoy, they can have value for the money. But so far so good. The comments are, in fact, it has been so overwhelming.
Right. Very beautiful stuff. Again, I say congratulations to you for this amazing experience that you've created for people in your state, and for how well you are also doing with your numbers in the state. And congratulations again on your award.
Thank you so much.
a tourism ambassador, someone contributing to youth development in Oyo State. And I also got to know today is your mom's birthday. Happy birthday to her.
Shout out to Prophetess Lydia Bamidele. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you, man. From all of us on the Transport and Tourism Show. We're just expecting our cake. We're looking forward to it today. But again, we send our heartfelt wishes and greetings to you. And this is where I draw curtain on the program for today on Transport and Tourism Express. I've been speaking with Dr. Sanmi Bamidele, who operates a major water tourism platform in Oyo State. And I've done this program today with Rufus Sanmi, who has been a major contributor on the program today. My name, you want to tell?
Yeah, I want to just tell everybody that there's a lot of prospect around us. We can just look inward and come up with something. We can both make this country a great nation.
We can both make this country a great nation. Your contribution, my contribution, little drops of water, they say, makes a mighty ocean. And that way we can contribute significantly to our dear nation, Nigeria. And with this, I draw curtain on the program Transport and Tourism Express. My name is Victor Oyejide, and like I say every week, please, if you drink, do not drive, and if you drive, ensure that you do not drink. Till next week, do have a wonderful day ahead. Cheers.